In today's time, in today's world, when we talk about in this Black History Month, when we think about allies, authentic allyship, and we look at what does it mean to be an ally? What does it mean to be a true advocate for equality, for diversity, for equity, for equality, for to help people? So I want to look at authentic allyship. When we look at this in Black History Month, many are wondering how they can be advocates, and supporters of DEI are many times called allies. But how can we know who's a genuine ally or someone who is putting on a performative ally? How can we know someone who works in solidarity and partnership with marginalized groups of people to help take down systems that challenge the basic rights of equality and equal access that helps people to thrive in our society? So, what are some of the marks of an authentic ally? Someone who is real, genuine, who has the heart, but also not only do they have the right mind to do the work, but they also will put in practice the actions and the policies and the programs and the procedures to make this to be a reality for many people. My name is Kelvin Weathers. And when we look at what an authentic ally is and a marks of an authentic ally is someone who understands disenfranchised groups' perspective, someone who knows what the disenfranchised go through and who will listen to different groups who have been taken advantage of. Will listen to African Americans, Latinos, and uh, those who are disabled, those who mixed gender, or those who are of different ethnicities. They will listen and they will stay engaged in the process. They will remain committed to the work. 2 years ago, after the murder of George Floyd, many people wanted to become involved, and corporations, many still are thinking what they could do uh, to show that they were changing and to show that they were really making a difference in the lives of people. But an authentic ally will not just join for the moment. They will not just start off being an ally and put something in place, put a training in place, or put something in place to appease the masses, but they will continue to be engaged. So an authentic ally stays engaged in the process. They are committed to the long term, not just the short term, to the work that needs to be done. Marks of an authentic ally is also someone is empathetic. They have a compassionate disposition. They they listen, and they do the things that they do because they have a sense of that they hurt, and that they have a sense of empathy and a sense of genuine concern for the well-being for those who have been taken advantage of, those who've been disenfranchised. Also, they know when to apologize. This can help many of us in many different ways. They know when to apologize when they're wrong, and they're willing to be corrected when they know that they're wrong. So they understand that just when you do something wrong, you admit it. But also, they know that meaning well is not good enough. An authentic ally is not just someone that means well. Meaning well is good, but when you just mean well for the sake of meaning well, but when you don't put in place the types of policies, the types of actions, meaning well is just not good enough. For example, you have individuals who put in place certain uh, annual programs, and they put in place certain annual events, but they don't follow those things up with actions. They don't follow those things up with uh, attempting to level the playing field for minorities and others. And they understand even if you say something that your intentions, you may have the best intentions, you may have the best thought, you may mean well, but if your actions offend, if they come across in the wrong light, if they're not received well. They understand that even though you mean well, it's not good enough. This is one of the reasons I believe you have this fight over critical race theory, and you have this fight over many other things. But people who mean well, but they don't want to follow through with that. So an authentic ally understands, they listen, they're empathetic, they stay engaged. It's not just a short-term action, it's a long-term action. Being an ally isn't a status. Being an ally, an authentic ally, isn't a status. The moment that we decide, I'm an ally, we're in trouble. In other words, it can bring about authentic, those who join and try and attempt to join with African Americans, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and disabled individuals and other individuals. The moment that they decide to be an ally, it causes trouble. John Lewis talked about good trouble. It was the book that was written a bit about him, about Good Trouble, that John Lewis, the legendary civil rights activist and former congressman, got involved in, was Good Trouble. Mia McKenzie puts it this way: currently operating in solidarity with is undeniably an action. It describes what a person is doing in the moment. It does not give credit for past acts of solidarity without regard for current behavior. Many people want to give, an authentic ally doesn't just rely on, okay, I went to a march and I did something good. I helped do something once. They don't want credit for past behavior. They understand that racism is and injustice and segregation and slavery, it's for over 400 years of this. You cannot just rely on a past one time or a couple times action to try to say that absolves many years of what has happened in the past. So they don't take to seek credit just for past good deeds or past good behavior. It does not assume future acts of solidarity. So they understand that authentic allies understand that it's a continual process. It's not just something you do and you expect it to be, you get credit for it. You have to get, it's something that continues, and you want to continue in this work. It speaks only to the actions of the present. It speaks on, so an authentic ally, when you operate in solidarity with, it's undeniably an action, what a person is doing in the moment. It does not give credit for future acts without regard for current behavior. It does not assure future solidarity. It speaks only to the actions of the presence. Present action, present activity, present resolve, and presence of. So those are the marks of an authentic ally. A couple of things of the marks of a pseudo ally. A pseudo ally, someone who's pretentious or fake. Performative allyship is based on the idea of self-gratification and does not look at your responsibility within a community. It is disingenuous. So performative allyship is based upon the idea that if we do something for a community based upon the past, it's all about showing a good deed to please themselves, or for self-performance, or for self-acclaim. But it's not about that when you're a real ally. So, but a fake ally, that's what they will be involved in. A pseudo ally cannot be counted on when it gets hot. 2 years ago, as I said earlier, 2020, many people wanted to get involved. Many people wanted to say that they are for it, even saying that they're for Black Lives Matter and other things of this nature. But once that hot, flash and the energy and the momentum behind after the murder of George Floyd was there, many people have now, they've been counted out. They don't stand anymore. They don't take action anymore to show that they're in solidarity with disenfranchised groups. They're counted out. They're not consistent. So if we want to be authentic allies, if you just don't want to do this for Black History Month or for certain other months, this should be a year-round, everyday, constant, ongoing action to be an ally, to be an advocate, to be someone that stands up and stands together with those who have been disenfranchised. Hopefully, this has been informative to you. Have a great rest of the Black History Month, and thank you, Black Speakers Network, for putting on this platform.